guys, welcome back to the Heart of Home. It's actually been a while. I am excited to catch up with you. You might have already noticed in the video title that today's video is going to include a pizza crust recipe using sourdough discard. So I'm going to go ahead and put these groceries away that I just got from Aldi, and then I'm going to go ahead and put that recipe in the front end of this video, and then we'll just keep chatting after. I got to thinking as I was setting up the phone stand, some of you are probably new here. The majority of you probably are. And if that is you, you might already be wondering, what in the world, where does she live? And we are living in the middle of a complete home renovation. So unfortunately, the kitchen is the last room that we are giving our attention to because it's going to take a lot of effort. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, why is there food in her living room? Why is she living on a subfloor? Why does she have closet doors for countertops? That's why. So the ingredients for my sourdough discard pizza crust are super simple. Obviously you need sourdough discard. And I actually use extra water. This is really just to thin it down so that it's at a consistency that you can pour into your cast iron or your skillet. And before somebody comments on this video and comes at me for using water bottles instead of a gravity filtered water system, let me just remind you that we are in the middle of a kitchen renovation and some things are just not worth the stress right now. What I coat all of my pans in before I cook my pizza crust is this oregano infused olive oil. Now, I do have a blog post on this. If you haven't heard of it, I will go ahead and just link that below if it interests you. Let's get started. Intermission for this video. I had to just chuckle to myself when I was putting the pineapple on the pizza because I literally thought in my head, I can hear the hate now. Because so many people are either team pineapple on pizza or team no pineapple on pizzas. Let me know below, are you pineapple for pizza or not? Keep your sourdough starter in the fridge long term. Like you can store it there. Just like anything when it comes to bacteria and yeast and food in general, whenever you put it into the fridge, it's going to slow down that composition. And so when you do that, like in my example, we were gone for about 4 or 5 days. And I knew that if I left it on the counter where I normally leave it, that it would really start to break down. The yeast would become pretty weak and not as active. And so I knew that I needed to feed my sourdough starter and put it in the fridge. And then I actually took it out of the fridge last night when we got home. And the reason I did that is because I knew I would be filming this today and I wanted my sourdough starter to be room temperature. However, if you are seeing this and you're thinking, oh no, like my sourdough starter is kept in the fridge, that's okay. Just know that your sourdough starter in this recipe might be a little more thicker, and it's not necessarily about the measurement of or the ratio of starter to water, but it's more so about, are you getting the consistency that you need to pour this batter for a pizza crust into your skillet. So it is very warm today for a February day in Iowa. It's also incredibly windy, so if you guys hear gusts, or like I actually just heard the vent. That's why, because it's incredibly windy today. It stays like today where I'm like, okay, I'm just itching to get out in the garden and to go plant some seeds, but I have to remember I live in zone 5 and that is just not appropriate to our timeline. However, what is coming up, which I'd love to hear if you guys are interested in any of this content, but is forage season. So, oh, that's how windy it is, y'all. Our power is flickering. Oh my gosh. Well, we'll just keep on trekking along. The end of April here in Iowa, it is time to go start to forage, and foraging for ground ginger. We've got a bunch of different mushrooms that I love to forage. We've got all sorts of things, ramps, I mean, so much. So if that's something that you guys are interested in seeing, would you just let me know down in the comments or send me a message on any of the platforms, and I will be sure to catch some of that content. That's it, guys. It's super easy, super great to do like on a busy night with a big family or a small family. You have plans, if it's summer, if it's winter. I mean, it's super versatile on when and what you want to do with it. Also, my favorite thing about this is, one, it's a really great recipe to have the kids help out with, because there's not a lot to do and a lot for them to mess up, but it's also a way to appease everybody. Instead of trying to figure out what kind of pizza you want to order, you can just say, here's all of the ingredients we have, and you can make whatever pizza you want. For that reason, I really love this recipe as well. Wow, I wish that you guys could actually hear how loud this wind is. I mean, I'm sure you can hear it because it's probably super disruptive, but it literally sounds like it's roaring. I've got a lot of work to do out here. So I need to take our food scraps out to the garden beds. We're not allowed to really have, I mean, we're allowed. I choose not to have compost bins out here because the dogs just tend to get into them, which they do in the garden beds as well. A lot of the food scraps that we have. Hi, Douglas. Hi, darling. It's been a while. Oh, my love. Hello. So a lot of our food scraps actually go to the worm farm, or they get frozen to put into a roaster pot here after a few months to turn into some sort of broth. But then there are things like the coffee grounds, some banana peels, some avocados, some strawberry tops, just miscellaneous stuff. So the only thing that I make sure to not have out here in the garden beds is anything that could hurt the dogs that they're not supposed to eat. Like onions, for example, they always get put into the freezer bags for the roaster. Get down. Thank you, sir. So the only other thing I have left to do today is to take some photos of some clothes that I'm selling that I've thrifted. I'm starting to venture into that, so I'm not going to share a whole lot here. And then I need to, very unfortunately, clean up all of the dog poop in the yard because it's so beautiful today. So I don't think you guys want to stick around for that part, so I'm going to say goodbye here. See you guys later.